Okay, so in this spell work here, we're going to be looking at a story problem. And I want to apply the stuff that we learned last time, which is writing a equation of a line. So last time we talked about writing an equation of a line as slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b, where m here is the slope and b here is the y-intercept. So reading this story here, it says, for babysitting, Sally charges a flat fee of $10. So I guess she has to charge that price if you're going to hire her as a babysitter, plus $5 per hour. So every hour she babysits, $5 gets added on. Write an equation for the cost C after H hours of babysitting. So it wants us to use C and H as basically these the variables. So let's figure this out. We want to write some sort of equation for cost. So cost is going to be our equation. So we want to be able to calculate for cost. So some equation needs to be here. And this equation depends on H hours. So in this case, what I'm thinking about is like one, every time someone calls her Sally up to babysit, she has to charge you $10, right? So in this case, we know we have to add on $10 is what I'm thinking about. So now I'm thinking about, okay, so this $10 is kind of like the y-intercept, right? Like your b. And then it says that she charges $5 an hour, which kind of reminds me of like the slope. So every hour that passes, she has to multiply by 5. So in this case, this is kind of like your slope or your m. So I'm thinking maybe this equation is like 10 plus 5x, or not x in this case, h, since h is the hours. So we can write our equation like this. Some people will write it like c equals 5h plus 10, but you can see that they're the same thing. So here's our equation. And we also need to read I guess the second part. It says, how much will she make if she babysits for 5 hours? Well, now that we have an equation here, and we know that h here is 5 because she's babysitting for 5 hours, then we can easily plug this number into our equation. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So c is equal to 10 plus 5 times 5 hours. And so that's going to give me 10 plus 5 times 5 is 25. So it looks like she's going to be making $35 after 5 hours. And so that is my final answer. So this one was for part 1. I had to build an equation. And then for part 2, I had to figure out or calculate how much money I made after 5 hours of working. So now that we're warmed up, let's try some problems where we are practicing writing an equation of a line. So up here, you can see the recommended optional homework that aligns with the lesson that we're going to be covering today. So I'm going to grab some homework problems from section 3.3, and I'm going to pick 51 and 52. So in here, it wants us to take these 2 points. So we're given 2 points or coordinate points. And we need to write the equation in a slope-intercept form and in a standard form. So slope-intercept form is when you have y equals mx plus b. So you got the slope, you got the intercept, and you could just write it as that format. But standard form is when you write it where x and y are both on the same side, and all the coefficients need to be whole numbers. So coefficients such as a, b, and c need to be whole numbers, or integers is what we call them too. So in this scenario, let's play with 51. So 51, again, we have the x values. Let me use green here. There we go. So we have the x values and some y values, another x value, and another y value. And so maybe the first thing I want to do is just get it in slope-intercept form. Usually getting to this one is a little bit easier. But here's the thing. I don't have a slope and I don't have a y-intercept, right? I only have 2 points to work with. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is maybe like, how do I figure out the slope if I'm given 2 points? Well, we learn a slope formula. So the slope formula is your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So if I were to use this formula, all I have to do is grab my y value. So 8 minus 4 over 5 minus 3. So 5 minus 3. So if I subtract the top, gives me 4. Subtract the bottom, gives me 2. So my slope here is a 2. So if I have my slope now, I can use that equation that I learned last time, which is the, oops, sorry, wrong pen, the point slope form, which is this formula here, where you use a slope and you use a point that you're given. This equation here, or this formula here, will help you get to the slope-intercept form because we're going to use one of the points we're given. I'll just use this point, and I'm going to plug y into here and x into here, and then I'll plug in the slope that I calculated here. So this is going to be y minus my y1, which is 4, my slope, which is 2, x drops down, and x in my coordinate is 3. So keep in mind your y and your x in this formula that doesn't have the subscript just comes down as it is. Those are just going to be treated as variables. So now what I'm going to do is try to get the y by itself. But let's first distribute this 2 in front. So that's going to give me 2x minus 6 on this side and a 4 on this side. And to get this y by itself, I got to move over this 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So that cancels. So my y is equal to 2x negative 6 plus 4 gives me a 2. So now I have it in slope-intercept form. Okay. So this one will help me cover for part A, but part B says I need to put it in standard form as well. So to put it in standard form, remember x's and y's both need to be on the same side. So all I have to do is basically move this 2x to the other side. And how do we do that? Well, pretty easy. All we have to do is subtract the 2x to the other side, right? So that would make it y minus 2x equals negative 2. And then there's my new equation in standard form. So notice that now I have y and x's both on the same side and the constant or the coefficient by itself on the other side. And this is now in standard form. So basically what we're going to do is get it into slope-intercept form, then basically move the x to the other side so we can have all the variables on one side. Okay, let's try it with this one here. So again, we want to get it in slope-intercept form first, so we got to start with that slope here. So we're going to try to calculate the slope. So I'll make this my x1, my y1, my x2, my y2. So my slope is going to be my y2, 14, minus my y1, which is negative 2. And my x's, so x2 minus x1. So these two will end up becoming a positive sign. So 14 plus 2 gives me 16 over negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. So if I divide, that's a negative 2 for my slope. So I have my slope now. Now I'm going to use that point slope formula. So y minus y1, which I'm going to use this number here, so negative 2, equals negative 2 times x minus my 5, which is my x1 that I'm going to plug in. And so from here, I'm going to distribute a negative 2. So in this case, it's going to be negative 2x plus 10. I'm going to drop this down as a positive 2 since those are two negatives. And now I can see I need to subtract this 2 over to the other side to cancel. So y comes down, negative 2x comes down. This will be a positive 8. And so I'm going to box that in as my final answer. So this is my slope-intercept form. And then last but not least, I need to get in standard form. So just like before, I'm going to move this x over, but this time, this one's a minus 2x, right? So I would have to add this to the other side. So on the other side, this is going to be y plus 2x equals 8. And so this here is my final answer, and it now is in standard form. So this is a two-part problem where you have to get it into slope form and standard form. The reason why I want to practice this with you is because your project, you will be doing something similar. You need to graph 3 slope-intercept forms and 3 standard form. So a lot of times what people will do is they can easily make a slope-intercept form and then change it to standard, as we did here, to help them hit the rubric on their project. So you'll see this as you're doing your project. Okay, so 2 more problems with you guys, so that way we can get some more practice in with solving and writing an equation. So in this problem here, you are to write an equation in slope-intercept form and in standard form. So very much like we did last time. Although this time I don't give you 2 points. So let's take a look at what we're given. We're given 1 point. So we have an x1 and a y1, and it says it needs to be parallel to this equation, which happens to be in standard form, right? So the first thing I have to do is, well, if I need it to be parallel to this line, well, basically 2 lines are parallel when they have the same slope. So if I want the same slope, I need to know the slope of this guy, but it's in standard form. And I won't know what the slope is until I get y by itself. So the first thing I have to do is basically get this equation where y is by itself, or in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 3x to both sides to get rid of that. And then negative y comes down as it is. And then I'll have 8 minus 3x. I have to divide by a -1 on both sides. So this cancels. Then y comes down. This becomes a -8 plus 3x. Since that is 2 negatives when you divide, so that becomes a positive, and then the 3 comes down. So this slope here happens to be a 3. So if this slope is a 3, and I need this line that I'm going to make to be parallel, I'm going to reuse this slope. So I'm going to reuse this slope. So what I'm going to do is basically use that equation as I did before. I have the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this equation here will be great for finding the equation of the line that passes through this point and has this slope. So I'm going to plug in my slope, plug in my point that I want it to pass through. So this will be y minus y1, which is 2, equals 3x minus x1, which is 7. And then I'm going to distribute 3 into here. And so that would make it y minus 2 equals 3x minus 3 times 7 is 21. And so now I have to add 2 to both sides for that one. And so it looks like y is equal to 3x negative 21 plus 2 is negative 19, I believe. Yes. So that means that this is my final answer, and it is in slope-intercept form. So now I need to write it in standard form, but like we did before, we're just going to move that x over. So this is a positive 3x, so I have to subtract it to the other side, which makes it a y minus 3x equals negative 19. And so now it's in standard form. And there we go. So we have the 2 answers now written here. All right, let's try to do this with perpendicular as well, and practice that skill. Let me scoot this. Can I scoot this up just a little bit? There we go. All right, so in this problem here, it's asking us to do it in perpendicular, which means that if you want 2 lines to be perpendicular, they need to be opposite signs. So one needs to be a negative sign and the other needs to be positive. And it needs to be reciprocal of each other. So reciprocal means that they are just flipped, like the fraction of them are flipped. So first thing is that we need to figure out what is the slope of this equation. And again, they put it in standard form. So unfortunately, we do need to solve for y. So I'm going to solve for y by subtracting the 5x over first, so I can remove the x. And so then I just have 2y equals 18 minus 5x. And then I have to divide by a 2 to both well, to all terms, so that cancels. And then y is equal to 18 divided by 2 is 9, and then this would just be 5 over 2, which I'll keep it as a fraction. So this is the slope of this guy, right? But that's not the slope that we want. We want the slope that is opposite sign. So if that's a negative, I want a positive. And it needs to be reciprocal. So I got to flip this fraction. So I don't want 5 over 2. I want 2 over 5, and I want it positive. So this is the slope that I want to use. Let me just circle that so we don't. So this is the slope that I'm going to use for my formula. So again, I'm going to use that y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, and plug in the points that I have, which is over here. So my my y1 is 5. My slope that I want to use is 2 over 5, and my x is 8. Now, we are going to be multiplying fraction here, so hang with me. So I'm going to be distributing a 2 over 5 into everything on the right-hand side. So this is going to be 2 over 5x minus 2 times 8 is 16. And this will be all over 5, since 8 over 1, if you multiply 2 times 8 gives you 16, 5 times 1 gives you 5. And then the other side stays the same. But then I need to add 5 to both sides. So that one cancels. Then y drops down. The 5x drops down. Now, when you're working with this side here, I need to add this number with this number. So I'm going to make this whole number over 1 so I can add the two fractions. Now, when you add fractions, you need to have the same denominator. So I can force 1 to be a 5 if I multiply it by a 5 on the bottom. But then I have to multiply it to the top. So what I really have here is like so I'm going to bring down the negative 16 over 5, and I'm going to now bring down the fraction multiply. So 5 times 5 gives me 25 over 5. And so from here, it looks like I have y equals 2 over 5x. I'm going to combine the numerator. Negative 16 plus 25 is positive 9 over 5. And now I can see that y is by itself. I have the slope, I have the y-intercept, and this here is my slope-intercept form. But remember, we also need to find standard. So to find standard, I need to move this x over, and that's going to take a little bit of work. All right, so I think I've shrunk it to give enough room here. So what I'm going to do is first subtract the 2 over 5x over, giving it as, what would that be, y minus 2 over 5x equals 9 over 5, right? And then what we notice is that the bottom here has a denominator. And so one of the things is that when you write it in standard form, they need to all be whole numbers. So they're not. So we have to make sure that they all become whole numbers. And what we do is look in the denominator. Denominator is both 5. So what we can do to get rid of it is multiply it by that number. So I'm going to multiply everything by 5, because if I decide to multiply this by 5 to make it a whole number, I have to multiply everything by 5. So I don't change the equation. So I'm going to multiply everything by 5 here. So then this equation becomes 5y minus that 5, and that 5 will cancel, bringing down a negative 2x. So that's a negative 2x equals, well, that 5 will cancel with that 5. So that just brings down a 9. So now you can see everything is a whole number. And so this is it. This is our final answer, and it's in standard form because the x's and y's are both on the same side. And so we are done. I hope this video was helpful.